and I'm here to review the legendary, the incredible, the unforgettable, the movie we needed but don't deserve, in my opinion. The Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, the sequel to Batman Begins. Before I get into it, I just want to make a couple of quick disclaimers that I forgot to make in my last video. But these are all purely my subjective opinions, so take what you want, leave the rest. This is not sponsored, nor is it scripted, so keep that in mind. And if you think you're going to be offended by this video, please click off now. Because I will be praising The Dark Knight a lot, but I will also be critiquing it. And the Batman 2022, I'm vengeance, might come up here and there, so just be understanding of that. If you adore the Batman more than anything other, any other Batman film ever made, you might not want to watch this review, okay? And I'm also going to be discussing things within the Dark Knight film that can be seen as sensitive or disturbing to some. So please keep that in mind. And Warner Bros., this is in no way to slander or defame The Dark Knight, nor its legacy. And I will say right now, R.I.P. to Heath Ledger. I pray his soul is in a better place. That's all I'm going to say on that. So, with all those depressing disclaimers out of the way, let's get into the depressing movie itself. Okay, for starters, I want to say that the lighting in this movie is incredible. I love the dark blue tint that every scene, not every single scene, but most scenes tend to have even in the more grounded parts of the movie, seem to have this dark blue tint to them, and I just adore that. It reminds me very much of Christopher Nolan's early work in Memento. Which, fun fact, Memento was actually written, I don't know about the script, but the story was originally written by his brother Jonathan Nolan. If you already knew that, yay for you. Okay, but anyway, the lighting in this movie was incredible. The sets overall were really brilliant. And the score. I didn't talk about this as much in my previous Batman video, but Chris Nolan Batman video. But the music for this movie, second to none for me in terms of Batman movies. And I'm talking about strictly the ones that have come out in recent years. I'm not at all disrespecting Michael Keaton's Batman films, so just keep that in mind. And nor am I dissing the music made for the Batman either. I actually don't hate that movie, nor do I hate its music, so just keep that in mind. But James Newton Howard and the legendary Hans Zimmer, they killed it. They slayed it. They just, from the first track to the final track, it's just, the soundtrack alone is a journey. The first song on the soundtrack, at least in my version. Why so serious? I apologize for that horrendous impression. But yeah, that song, it speaks for itself. It truly speaks for itself. And it is a wonderful homage to Heath Ledger's incredible work in this movie. So yeah. And before we get into the individual characters, I want to just give a few honorable mentions to the characters that I thought were also really well done before we get into the three main bad A's of this movie. Not baddies, bad A-S-S's. Because I don't know if I can curse on this channel, so yeah. Just you know what I'm saying when I say bad beep beeps. Okay? But honorable mentions, Maggie Gyllenhaal as Rachel. She made that character much more tolerable. Sorry to any Katie Holmes fans. I'm sorry. Maggie Gyllenhaal, I love you. Anyway, she's also directing a new movie, so yay for her. But yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal made Rachel much more tolerable overall. So yeah, thank God for her. Lau was incredible. He did a great and rather humorous job. I really liked his character. Lucius Fox, played by the incredible Morgan Freeman. My mind almost drew a blank there. See, I make these videos back to back, so there's a reason you might hear blank moments in my speaking, so just be aware of that. But yeah, Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox killed it as always. Michael Caine as Alfred. Like, we all love Alfred, let's just say that now. Yeah, honorable mentions most definitely go to Lau, who I believe his first name is Chin, but I forget his last name, so I apologize for that. Maggie Gyllenhaal as Rachel, thank God. And of course, Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, and Michael Caine as Alfred. Everybody loves Alfred, let's just be real. Okay. And I guess another honorable mention can go to Gamble. I believe he was played by Michael J. White. Correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comments, but please play nice, because again, comments are always moderated rather strictly on my channel, so just keep that in mind. But correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's Michael J. White who played Gamble. He did a great job. I know he wasn't a very, major character, but he did a great job with what he had, so I really like that. He did a cool job, and he really kind of helped instill, yeah, is that the word? Instill the instill the fear of the Joker's future acts, the future crimes of the Joker, let's put it that way, within the movie. So he really was a great setup character. He did a great job. I know his role was very minor in the grand scheme of things, but he did do a brilliant job. So also honorable mention goes to Gamble, which I know I would have liked to see more of Gamble in a future DC work. It's probably never going to happen, but even so, because he did a great job. So now let's get into the individual bad ASSs of the movie. I mean, who else do you think I was going to start with? But we're starting with the Bruce Wayne side of Batman first, with this gorgeous, not hard to look at picture, in my opinion. So Bruce Wayne, within the beginning of The Dark Knight, he starts out, I would say, confident, but also he's not as naive as when he was in Batman Begins, which is a good, good start to his character. But I think he is slightly, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not as prepared as he thinks he is. He's prepared, don't get me wrong. But from the Bruce Wayne love life perspective, I mean, the whole Rachel and Harvey Two-Face thing, which I will get into. But from that perspective, he's still definitely maturing. Like, he's not, in my opinion, fully matured in that situation. He still loves her, and that's understandable. But he's also aware of his role as Batman within this version of Gotham. So I think there is a definite moral dilemma, and not just moral, but like priority-wise, there's a dilemma. Because Batman, for a certain time, was a signal of hope to people within the story, like within the trilogy. There was a point after Batman Begins where it's kind of implied before The Dark Knight starts that Batman Begins, Batman himself within this universe, is not loved, but he's not hated yet. So there's that. So in that way, I feel like it kind of helps Bruce stay both unaware and aware. Like, he's aware of the crime in Gotham, but he's not fully aware of the threat that's about to unfold. Like, he knows the Joker is there. He knows that the Joker is possibly part of the mob, but he doesn't, know what's coming. And with that said, we get into one of the people who was coming. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. This is where that quote came from, just so you know. The Dark Knight, you're welcome. Can you guess which character said it? He's actually on the screen right now. But yeah, Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart, he did a fantastic job. I don't personally think he was shoehorned in. I just think he didn't have enough time to really fully embrace the Two-Face side of his character. I think his development and descent into Two-Face was perfect, and I think the way he handled the evil villain side of himself was really brilliant. But I just don't think there was enough time for him to fully be Harvey Two-Face. And I personally, though I am gonna review Rises, I don't think he was dead. I know they had the whole Harvey Dent Day thing in Rises, but that's just because they didn't find the body yet. In my personal opinion, he's still out there somewhere. But yeah, Aaron Eckhart did an incredible job with Harvey Two-Face. He made him both likable and frightening, and I think that's the perfect way to portray Harvey Two-Face. He is, as his name implies, very two-faced. And I really enjoy the political, well, it's really socio-political commentary that his character brings up. He really does show another side to the dilemma of what the people of Gotham want. And that's very powerful even now, because he shows kind of for the people of Gotham. In a way, in my opinion and from my subjective experience, he speaks for the people of Gotham because he is the district attorney wanting to be mayor. So he really does kind of have his hand on the pulse of what the people of Gotham are wanting, as any educated person should within the storyline. Like, as any district attorney really should. But it's also kind of where he's flawed, because he also understands Batman. He gets where the Dark Knight is coming from. And I think that's very key to his character. The fact that he understands Batman's moral dilemma, and the fact that he wouldn't want to be Batman himself. Side note, these things are built for that, right? Like, the whole, before the chasing got super intense, that moment where Harvey was in the what's it called? That when he was in the van with the police people. I'm sorry, I'm not educated. I don't watch Law and Order like that. But when he was in the police situation, you know, I'm just gonna say, when he was in the car chase in the back of the van, it was hilarious. This is not. Now for the creme de la creme. The best character who truly outacted Christian Bale, in my personal opinion. Like, this is the only character in the movie that I think really could go as far as Batman, and even went further than Batman. Which is, yes, the point of his character. I get that. But the way Heath Ledger just slayed this role. He was a brilliant actor. His legacy as the Joker is something that, in my opinion, will never fully be understood, nor will it ever be beaten, no matter who plays the Joker next. No offense to Joaquin Phoenix, by the way, or Lady Gaga, or Margot Robbie. I just want to put that out there. No offense to those people at all. But for me, Heath Ledger's Joker, he just embodied the character. He really did. He took the Joker to new levels of fear. And he actually, in orchestrating Harvey's downfall, spoke not just about the people of Gotham, but about human nature itself. Because what he did with the ferries, the people on the ferries, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen the movie as many times as me or more, you know what I'm talking about. When the people are on the ferries and the Joker has set up the bomb thing, the whole bomb dilemma that he sets up near the end of the film, basically at the end of the film, it's very clear he's speaking to humanity in that way, in my opinion. He really is taking a dark look at a dark side of the human race, and he does it brilliantly. And he taught me an important lesson on the opening of the film. something that I believe what doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger. Forgive me for the horrible impression. But, like, it's true. It's not just the strength you gain from what doesn't kill you. It's the strangeness that comes with it. There are a lot of strange things that happen when you overcome darkness in your life. I'm not saying become a terrorist like he did. Like, I'm speaking strictly about the Joker in the movie when I say this. I'm not encouraging doing acts that are wrong and by criminal law, okay? I'm not saying go be a criminal when I say any of that. But as someone who's had a, forgive the pun, dark night of the soul more than once in my life, I really do, in my subjective way, get what he's saying. Because it doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you stranger. You see things in a different light. Sometimes you're always smiling. Like, there's a different side to life that you now are aware of because of what you've been through. And I won't go into details about the things I've been through, because that would be a freaking audiobook. That'd be a 5-hour audiobook that I don't think anyone would buy, so I'm just going to say that. But yeah, no, I really do think that Heath Ledger had the absolute best performance in the movie. I know a lot of people think that as well. Don't think I'm unaware of that. But I do firmly believe he had the best acting in the movie. And because I know my opinions on what happened to his unfortunate passing are controversial, and I don't want to make all the Dark Knight fanboys mad at me, I'm not going to get into my personal beliefs on that. But what I will say is that I feel like his tragic was very unfortunate for everyone involved, and I pray to whom I believe in that he is in a happier place. And I hope that he's looking down at the people who still love his work in The Dark Knight and are proud to I hope he's proud somewhere from heaven to see his legacy still living on amongst all the Dark Knight fans. I genuinely do. So, congrats and props forever to Heath Ledger. We'll hunt him because he can take it. Because he's not a hero. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector. Yes, at this point, I feel like I've kind of gone through most of the story of the film with plenty of mini spoilers. So I'm going to give my final thoughts on The Dark Knight's evolution, as well as what I think happened with the Joker, and how they both won in their own way within the movie. So this is my opinion, again. But I think that both The Dark Knight and the Joker won in the movie, because The Dark Knight he proved in a way that humanity is not all bad. He showed the bright side, ironically, of humanity, at the cost of his own reputation and hope. Yes. But he proved it. And the Joker also proved that humans are quick to turn on each other. And that, the two-faced people are often praised long before the genuine people can be. Oh, that was deep! But no, seriously, I feel like that's a very real thing that the Joker proved within the story of the film. He proved that, in a way, every character had their own points that were both correct and incorrect. He introduced a little anarchy, and he also found that there were no fireworks, and I think that's important. It shows kind of the dark side, well, definitely the dark side, but also the hope that humanity has in this film. And The Dark Knight's ending really proved that, in my opinion.